Hey YouTube world, I am back with another video today and I want to go over 5 different reasons why I have let bags go over the years. And most of this will be focused on different screenshots that I will be posting since I don't have those bags anymore. But I don't want to just have nothing in front of us to just, watch my hands wave around. So I did want to show you a couple of different bags that I still have today. So reason number one, Hobo bags. Not a big fan of hobo bags, and you've heard me say this before. I don't like the little opening where it's like the moon crescent shape and then it's a little opening. And usually a lot of these bags are very structured. So it's hard for me to like stick my massive hands to go, grab whatever, right? Usually it hurts and scratches up my hands here. And I said, I use my hands a lot. It's already very scarred up, so I don't need to add to that unnecessarily. So the first bag that I got that I let go of was the Bottega Veneta, the hobo bag, the traditional one. I actually had 2 of them where I got it from a Gilt Warehouse sale, which I wish they would bring those back. And it's really a kind of a fun frenzy experience because you all line up, then they let you in and everybody bum rushes to go grab whatever bags to purchase, right? Because they're usually at like 50, 60, 70% off. So it's a really good deal. So I grabbed 2 of the Bottega Hobo bags. And the biggest complaint that I hear about the hobo bags is that it's really hard to get in and out of with the zipper, and then, it's on your shoulder, and really it ends up being just like the crook of your arm kind of bag. So I ended up letting that go. Again, I'll insert photos here. Those are the first 2. And then I also had a Chloe hobo bag, which is incredibly heavy. It's also a bottomless pit because the enclosure for me to unzip, it was hard to stick my hand in there. And then I went stirring the pot for whatever I was looking for. So I decided to let that go. The third bag was not really a hobo bag, but again, going back on the same topic of sticking your hand in, it was the Balenciaga, kind of like a dumpling bag or like just a giant pillow. So that was the same thing. I had a hard time seeing what's in there. Of course, it was also a black bag, so it was even harder to see anything and sticking your hand in there. So yeah, I tend to avoid hobo bags in general just because of the opening aspect of it and the functionality of it. Sticking your hand in there and then pulling it back out, and the zipper claws, teeth, whatever you call it, ends up scratching my hands. So I avoid hobo bags, period. Reason number 2 why I let go of bags is because of the straps. So the first one is going to be my 2 Givenchy Antigonia bags. And if you heard me say this before in my previous videos, I had a big problem with the straps because the straps is not fully enclosed. It's basically a D ring. I can't form a D in my finger. Basically, it's like a D ring, right? And it's a slit where you put the 2 together, and that's how they stay on. I'll insert a photo so you can see exactly what I mean. But basically, I would be wearing the bag. I'm traveling. I have it crossbody, whatever it is. All of a sudden, my bag's on the floor, and the strap would literally whip over my shoulder and hit somebody with it. So I decided to let go of both of those bags because of the strap. The other point of the straps is any crossbody with a full metal strap. So the Gucci Soho crossbody, I really like that bag, but the chain was incredibly heavy, first of all. And number 2, this chain strap was completely metal and very slippery. So I had a hard time with that. It kept slipping off. It was sliding everywhere. So I decided to let that go and vowed pretty much never to buy a bag, a crossbody bag with just a pure metal strap. What I would be looking for is a strap with like, this part could be metal and then this part would be a leather piece so that it stays on your shoulder pretty nicely. It's the same thing with the YSL wallet on chain that I had to let go because of the slippery chain that came with it. Reason number 3, bulky crossbodies. Crossbodies are pretty much my go-to everyday bag. Most of the bags I do have tend to have a crossbody strap. And the first one I let go was the Chloe Daria bag, which the crossbody strap was fine. It worked really well because it was pretty thick, and it was just so bulky. It didn't sit very flush to your body. It was basically carrying like a giant loaf of bread by the side of your body, and I basically knocked into everything. It got caught on things, so quickly discovered that, I didn't like that bag and decided to sell it. It's the same thing with the YSL Lulu Medium. It was such a big bag and very bulky. Yes, I could have continued using it as a shoulder bag, but I want a crossbody functionality if that was designed to come with it, right? So it was just massive and it just knocked into everything as if I wasn't already a bull in a china shop in general. That's just how I am, so I don't need it to add to that. Reason number 4, black bags. So I've said this in my previous YSL video. If you haven't checked it out, definitely take a look at that, my entire YSL collection. I have too many black bags, and this is more of a personal reason. Black bags are great. I think they're versatile, but the way I dress is very neutral. I do wear a lot of black on a daily basis. So for me, I feel like black bags tend to just blend into the rest of my outfit. And for me, I love bags. I want to showcase it, right? So I want a little bit of a contrast. And again, my style of dressing is very high-low, meaning I'll spend more money on my bags, but then I wear very cheap stuff like H&M and, just keeping it very simple. Just to name a few, most of them are YSL and Chanel. I did let go of the YSL College Medium bag. Then I also had the YSL Tribeca. I also let go of my Chanel single flap that I bought during the pandemic because, we had money to blow. And I impulse buy a Chanel black bag, single flap, where the hardware was gunmetal, which is not me in the first place. I like to have gold hardware, as you can see. And lastly, the Chanel Surf Tote. I also let that one go because I didn't need 2 or 3 work bags. And when I purchased the Louis Vuitton On The Go Medium, which again, if you've seen it in my previous video, I thought that one was just much more functional with the double straps, the long and the short straps. So I decided to let go of the Chanel Surf Tote. The 5th reason why I let bags go is pretty much all of my Tory Burch bags. For a good while, I was Tory Burch girl. Literally all of my bags, my entire bag collection pretty much were Tory Burch. This is the only Tory Burch bag I have left because sentimental reasons. My boyfriend bought this for me, not us, for my anniversary. So I definitely will hold on to this forever. But basically, whatever brand or whatever model that Tory Burch had, I had it all. So I had the Ella tote, the big and the small. I had the Amanda, the big and the small. Then I had the Robinson. I also had the York tote, the large and the small. So I basically had them all. And in my opinion, Tory Burch, when they first came out, the quality was great. But when the outlets start popping up, I felt like the quality has declined dramatically. In recent years, I did hear that, on social media and YouTube, everybody's raving about Tory Burch's quality and how great it is. But this one came from the original store. My boyfriend bought it at the local boutique, not the outlet. And you can see, I've worn this like maybe a couple times. And you can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera here, but the leather and the black leather is just like kind of faded, right? For a quality bag, it shouldn't fade after a couple times. And it was the same thing for all of my shoes that I bought from Tory Burch. It was all faded after a couple of times. The paint came off after a couple use, and then the leather started cracking. So maybe it has changed in the past couple years, but as of right now, this will be my only Tory Burch handbag. And just to talk a little bit about some of the pieces in front of you, Why I haven't been using them, but I do love these pieces. So this one we talked about. This one is another black bag of mine, which is from Alexander Wayne. I got this from my boyfriend on one of my birthdays, so I'm never letting this go. I do use it from time to time, but not very often. But this is like such a heavy bag. Look at this. Straight just metal, right? If you need to like protect yourself with this, maybe you can use this as a weapon. But yeah, this is a really heavy bag. If you were to put anything else in it, it just makes it even heavier. So I don't use this that often, but the quality is great. There's some scuff on the corners, which I can easily fix with the cream that I got from Amazon. But overall, it's still a very unique and quality bag. I remember when this was all the rage and everybody had it. So very happy with this one. For this Louis Vuitton, I got this when I was in Portugal at the Louis Vuitton store, and it's a really functional bag. It's super lightweight. The leather straps are great, and it does come with a chain strap. So I need to use this one more often. Yeah, I know this was incredibly popular and still is. People are still looking for it, but this has since then been discontinued. And of course, you see me talk about my Chanel wallet and chains. I do like my pop of colors when you're wearing a full, neutral outfit or a, beige or black or whatever. So it's nice to just have a pop of color. I do use this quite often when I'm traveling, kind of just stick it in your work tote or perhaps your travel bag. If you need to just run somewhere, this is very convenient and very spacious. I did do a full review of my 2 Chanel wallet on chains. Again, I'll link that down below if you haven't checked that out already. So hopefully this was helpful. I will be making a second video on 5 more reasons why I decided to let bags go. And maybe this will spark some ideas and hopefully some features that you haven't thought about when purchasing your next bag so that you don't make the same mistakes that as I did. It was a very long journey. So like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I want to cover topics that will help you adult easier. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can live your best life and hopefully less in retail. See you next time.